Kine urobo wado awe we inyere wari no vre ogwucha robo se ogban robo ro wona mamole ti se na otiti oko wa ku ji pa no na awe gwono se omiya gwaru robocha ogbururi oyembo hoke onorogu Ben Roland Igbakpa onye represent Ethiopia East and Ethiopia West Federal Constituency. Bolivia, Sasasa over politics, also again Nigeria over Abuja and Ubora Fetire, Ikuna, Yosu over Ethiopia Federal. Okay, Larry, I will go over. I will go no who immediately Rubo, Libya, Ramani, our part of Bupunu, I will go no who the Opa. Because I want to your Omawa, okay.
It's all over. On no metal pa, have a boy win a Rubonian. Who cocoa better better be more than our Kevin. Unnail to one to Bawari Yakpo by Mecasona. Ye, Uruna, Umukoi Berry Uruna. Uruna, then they Umukoi Berry Uruna. Umukoi Berry Uruna, Yumukoi Berry Uruna. Yumukoi Berry Uruna, Yumukoi Berry Uruna, Umukoi Berry Uruna, Umukoi Berry Uruna. Equo Nenue, Yumukoi Berry Uruna. Aridori Neno, Yumukoi Berry Uruna. Komama, Ijaja well, come on. Ijaja well, come on. Warrior Nagaja Iloba, all do we only wait. When we over Miva, Ogban Yenazo to Coco Night with also to Coco Night with Obalinia keep we Buddha one memory of all with Ado Igbe. Ijaja welcome on. Ijaja welcome on. Ado Igbe. Warrior Nagaja Iloba, all do we
So Yova, I wouldn't know did I could be over I can't. I will go no Jumun, I will go no Jumunu to Obole Umilagwara, Olemohoke, Onorogu, Ben Roland, Igbakpa, Urevre, Ekotele, as or this one, I will say a constituency. Honor, on we am your vocal, the
popular adage, water, water everywhere, with none to drink, was the story of this woman fetching water from a ring well at Isiokulu, Ethiopia East local government area, until the intervention of the member representing Ethiopia Federal Constituency, Honorable Ben Igbakpa, with the construction of 10,000 gallons solar water project, which the people of Isiokulu said has brought relief to them. Another solar water borehole system facilitated in Ethiopia East is located in Igun community. As at the time of filing in this report, the solar panels were being installed and have been put into use.
Now they see water they drink again, unless we carry pure water. And since when we hear say water they come, now we take the pray for it. It's very easy for me to get.
I'm the site engineer for this solar water project here in Igun. And for some weeks now we've been here. The people are so good, so nice.
Also in Ethiopia West local government area, Honorable Igbakpa has facilitated 10,000 gallons solar water borehole system each at Okureve and Okurode quarters, both in Ovade, Adagboyinri, Agunle Ogariki, and Ajatiton Mosuga. These school children said they are now at liberty to quench their thirst in view of the scorching sun. The people of the various quarters in Ethiopia West praised the federal lawmaker for facilitating projects that have direct impacts on their lives.
As I come this over there, I come to see they don't do water. Because before, when we come, no see water use, with the struggle, go to fight for water. Before they never see water for us. When I come, I'm very happy to say water day over there.
Before this project, we used to go to Ovade, east side of Ovade, to fetch water. And when this water came, I am very impressive.
I dey ugly water now I go. Now I go fresh water. I say I go drink water. Now I go.
If I would go river, would they go where? Would they cross road, crossing of road, they go fetch water. So that's why we they see water, what we suffer of water, but now they enjoy the water very fine now.
Since how many years we not get water? Suddenly, God just push one brother, where they call brother Ben Ogbakpa. Say make he come give us water. And God go continue to bless am.
It's a source of development and it's a good one. For the past 3 months now, we have been experiencing water scarcity, but due to this water project, I believe we'll be alleviating water scarcity from the community, and it's a source of development also.
Since we not get water, we dey struggle to get water. We not get, but now they don't give us water. We get water now. We not go struggle again.
Meanwhile, in ensuring that the people of Ethiop Federal Constituency have more access to healthcare delivery, a primary healthcare center is being constructed at Jesse Town as part of the Honorable Ben Igbakpa intervention in his constituency. The zonal intervention projects and programs known as constituency projects facilitated in his constituency is aimed at ensuring that the people get what rightfully belongs to them.
Kene wakubecha abana badi jumunu wo te obore omila gbanaru efure ekotoru suwese constituents over sare e National Assembly na abeke sere na ori obenus ori umena sene are tutakugbe okerere logono ka yekweje na onana orimmohoke olorogu Ben Roland Igbakpa all representing equal Ethiopist ugbe Ethiop West Federal Constituency were Abuja ya vegbe ka tumota border o ka vuabare obiri avule national politics o ka vuabare obore kairi sasasa ai jebi ovura as I say National Assembly bobore o affect ukunwa one of one o asokena wana eru continuous voters registration wo shi ru very because that way ru say na asa obonye peti ke ikweke somari we pe 2023 na kine avec ese rire kine me na gbogbo chare omiragwa onorogu orimmohoke Ben Roland Igbakpa or representing Ethiopist and Ethiop West Federal Constituency. Amakashe of Ogara Kingdom. Miyerisa.
Wakabiru Munime Robowado Zetawado.
Kine Welena Udewe Okoke Mamura Jevuki Ikweje Vugiri Pa because when no na aka ajo ibo obeso ajo ibo ekese nyore ede adashuru robo vetile o ka bere ikukosa participate for ye so betela aka ajo ibo na yede ji no so oyibo na umena tota wo nyori ka metota kumabe. So please we will go into English for effective communication, understanding and elaborate participation. So welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you.
So quickly, we are going to look into some of the prevailing issues in Nigeria vis-a-vis our lawmakers, how it affects you, the Senate, and especially, sir, the electronic transmission of results that the INEC is about doing, how it's affecting us, and how it will be beneficial to us. And is the process going to, can we trust the process, sir?
Well, if you remember, the Electoral Act amendment is one of the very topical issues that we handled before we went on the annual recess. The issue of the electronic transmission. The Senate passed their version, and the House passed their version. And that of the Senate is is quite unfortunate because it violates the Constitution. Section 78 of the 1999 Constitution vested the conduct and supervision of election on INEC. and for no other law should override the constitution, because constitution is the ground norm of our existence as a country, and section 78 is very explicit. So for the Senate to pass their own version that says that subjects, INEC should reach them, first get approval from the National Assembly and what do you call it, NCC. It's an aberration, and I wonder what they were thinking. But the House of Reps, so we still have issues on our side, but I think what we have presently is far better than what the Senate have done. The Senate one is dead on arrival because it contravenes and contradicts our constitution, which will not even see the light of day. But for that of the House is saying that whatever INEC deemed necessary, they should go ahead with. So it's left for INEC to decide whether they want to do transmission or not. But for me, as an individual, I think it's something that should be cast on stone. There should be a law that anytime, anywhere, you can go to court and seek for interpretation of electronic transmission, and the court will agree with you. Presently, every electoral matter that go to court, the issue of card reader has always been referred to as unknown to law, and that is the defect that we're trying to cure. Is a defect that we're trying to cure. It's an injury that to our electoral process that we're trying to cure, so that we can actually get an election that is free and fair. Because when it is electronically done, human interference become less. And that for me and for members of the opposition, the PDP, we are very much in support of electronic transmission, and that is what we have said that led to the working out of the members of the House of Representatives PDP caucus and minority caucus out of the House before we went on vacation. So talking about whether I have trust in it, yes, electronic transmission is the way to go. Nigeria is growing, the world is growing, and I think it is time for us as a people to move along with the global trend that is acceptable.
Thank you so much. Our fear here is that, for a result to be transmitted electronically, meaning there should be adequate data, there should be adequate power supply. And bearing in mind that, of course, we know what is happening these days in internet fraud, where people can intercept files belonging to government or companies, just like the issue of hush puppies. Don't you think that some smart politicians can also hijack the process of transmitting the results?
Now, Tim, let me tell you, do you have online account?
Online accounts, yes, I do.
Yes. Do you have you transferred money to people before?
So much more, sir. So much more.
How many times have your account been hacked? How many times have your transaction be disturbed? How many times has anybody interfered with your transaction?
No, and this is because there are some certain securities that I don't give us like that, and because it's a personal thing, it will be very difficult for people to have access to my BVN and other things that may enable them have access to my account. But in this case, sir,
that is the same thing why what we should be telling INEC is not to discourage them from doing the right thing, is to help them. The world is going into phishing. Your bank details, everything, they are phishing now. That's what where we're going into. So what we should be thinking about is how to encourage INEC to ensure that their what do you call that their database is protected. You cannot protect. There's no system in the world that can be foolproof and fully protected. But in doing it, you have to tell INEC, please, what is your level of security? Let them be the one to complain. And that is why the House of Representatives have come out with their own version, say INEC have the right, they're giving the powers to INEC to decide the kind of election they want to do, whether it be electronic or manual that we have been doing. But we all know that the manual have been issues of people not underage voting, people that are there still voting, because somebody can just print 2,000, 1 million votes, and tomorrow they are coming up. People can just write.
Oh yeah.
But the process of the electronic transmission means that there will be less interference, human interference, less human interference. That when you transmit from unit A to the word collation center, nobody will be in between. Whatever you transmit from here, if you get there and there's anything, then you can now raise alarm. No, this is not what I transmitted. This is the document that I have. This is what I have. If the document and the online transmission is at variance, then there's something wrong. So I think we should not sit down as a people just because we are afraid. There was a time we were, as a child, I was afraid to ride bicycle. But today, if you tell me to fly a plane, I'll fly a plane. I won't be afraid. So we must move. The world is moving. We must move along with the world. Definitely, there's no way we can get 100% electronic election. But why don't we start from somewhere? Why don't we recognize this card reader? Because if we spend millions of taxpayers' money to buy card readers, and at every election, the result and the report of the card readers are considered illegal, then why are we spending money? I think the right thing for us to do is to throw away the card reader. No need for card reader, what do you call it? The accreditation. Let us just stand and just start ticking. But Nigeria must move ahead. It is time for us to move ahead now that young people are craving for all-inclusive governance and their involvement in government. They should actually come out. They should be able to stand out. And this is what I keep telling every time, that Nigeria does not belong to 469 members of the National Assembly, the president and the vice president, or the 36 governors. Nigeria belongs to over 200 million people. And the 200 million people are more than the ruling class. And they should be able to come out and support ideas and ideology that will stand Nigeria up in this 21st century and move us to where we are supposed to be in the Community of Nations.
Thank you so much, sir. Before you go, the next question. You have a question online from one Owabo Emmanuel. He said, now that the National Assembly has rejected the electronic transmission, would our coming out to protest change anything? As in, when we come out to protest against this rejection, will it change anything?
Yes, thank you very much, Ima. I quite agree with you, and I sympathize with the Nigerian public. Yes, if you are there to do our own, we are there courtesy of your powers. The people that voted us into power, the people that elected us are actually the boss. We are supposed to be servants, but this is the part of the world where representatives and people elected into power become the boss. We are supposed to be servants. We are supposed to carry out your assignment. We are supposed to go there and discuss what our constituents have given to us to come and show. Yes, that is just what I just said, that Nigerians should not be looking at the less than 500 people in power. Nigerians should come out, the remaining 190-something million people should come out and speak with one voice that what we want in Nigeria is electronic voting. And I'm sure the National Assembly will have no choice. Yes, in the process of election, there's what we call public hearing. And if we have done the public hearing properly, then if the people have spoken to electronic voting and the National Assembly are saying no to it, that means that the people are not being carried along. And I know one of the ways to solving such a situation is civil unrest, not violent. For people to come out and speak, and the government and the people, we have to listen. Yes, it's unfortunate Nigeria, the way we are today, the ruling party has shown to Nigerians that they are not ready for electronic voting. That is to say that they are not ready to deliver free and credible election come 2023. That is to say that they have started planning how to rig election in the coming 2023 election. So it is for Nigerians to resist it now, put up a structure on ground to ensure that whatever plans they have will not hold sway. So yes, I'm with you. The people have to rise up. The people have to speak up. The people have to protest this injustice that is not the entire National Assembly. It is for now. It is the Senate. Even in the PIB, the same Senate started it, and the House of Reps followed suit because their leaders had to call them from various areas. And again, it goes to show a long way that our representative most times are political slaves. They are slaves to their political parties. They are slaves to their. I hate using the word. There's one word in Nigeria, the big man on top. That people I hate to use it when people say instead of saying that somebody is their mentor, people are referred to as godfathers. They are more faithful to them. Their allegiance is to the godfathers. Their allegiance is not to the country. Their allegiance is not to what they believe in. That is why in the coming election, people should actually sit tight and see the person with capacity, the person that can represent, the person that can run an election without going to bootlick or to go and beg for funds to do the election.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank God you mentioned the PIB. There's a part there I actually did not understand why the hula bolo was going on. Lisa, what is the fate of oil producing communities with this new PIB thing that is on board? What is their fate? Is it to their detriment? Is it to their benefit?
Well, there are two ways to that question. First, the PIB went past, presented to by Mr. President. If the way it is at that 3% is still better than where we were before the law. Where we are now, the oil companies, they sign what they call GMOU, the General Memorandum of Understanding, and the GMOU most times are not respected. They sign for 5 years. They are not respected. They do what they like. They don't follow it. No budget is made for the oil producing communities. But for this one now, certain amount, 3% for now. We are still praying and still believing that our brothers from the north and those that are so bereft of national solidarity will come and look at us and say that, well, we deserve more. But now there's a budget. 3% of their annual budget will go to host community, which was not there. Now we have more to add to our NDDC, to add to our 13% derivation. And if the Niger Delta Ministry is doing well, which has been there, so it's like another 3% has been added to what we used to get. But again, my worry is the fact that the law did not go to the extent of deciding or apportioning what will go to the host community, the proper host community, and the impacted community. So that, and again, in putting in place that host community trust fund, who are the people, what to qualify somebody to be a member of that trust fund, so that we don't come killing ourselves. Because now the law did not do it, did not go expressly to do that. Instead, left it that probably there will be a subsidiary legislation to deal with how we are going to deal with that money. That money could be another source of trouble for oil producing community. But talking about whether we are better off, yes, we are definitely going to be better off by the time it starts implementation. That means more local participation will be there. The process of contract award is going to be more transparent. Our people at the local level are going to get, in terms of manpower development, more money to develop our community. So it's better off. It's better off. But we just wish we'll go more. I know you're going to ask the question of the 30% that has gone to, they're proposing for the basins, the frontier basins. The frontier basin actually is not only in the north. It's just that we have a lot of basins that have been developed, and we find out that there's oil. For me, if I have my way, lawmaking, the majority will have their way, while the minority will have their say. If I have my way, we'll have tried to put in all this fund instead of putting it in trying to locate new oil. Why not exploit the ones that were already discovered, so that when they are saying 40 years time, oil, the value of oil will reduce, we will have gotten more, and a lot of money will have gone into our pocket to develop our infrastructure instead of spending more money for new frontiers when the frontiers that have been developed are all there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, we'll be going to a minute break, but before we go there, Imam Wabo is asking a question. You are a major stakeholder in the House of Representatives today,
So
an icon for Nigerian youth.
Yes,
Okay.
Emma, the truth is the lawmaking process. First is the first reading. The first reading, the title of the bill is just read, mentioned nothing. The second reading is the time where you, the sponsor, will discuss the merits and the general principle of the bill, and people can now debate. If it passes through there, it means that there's a good element of merit because no law is watertight. Then when it passes that, after the second reading, it goes to the committee. And during the committee ordinarily is supposed to do a public hearing. And that public hearing is where all stakeholders are invited and people can come and bring their own expertise, because most times they invite people that have very good knowledge of that industry or that sphere of government. Then people will come and speak as to what should be, if there are areas that they need to correct. There's time people come and say, no, that bill is not necessary, we don't need it. So that is how it is done. And because of funding, committees can actually go a step further, like what you're suggesting. You're suggesting something new, which is not really part of the lawmaking process, like an online debate. But most times, this public hearing is advertised on newspapers, but people don't take them seriously. People don't even come until when it comes to a stage. Oh, people, that's when the hues and cry will come. So I think our youth and our people should actually be more particular. They should pay attention to some of these bills when they are being advertised. If you have interest or you have areas that you need, can make it better so that people can show interest. So apart from that, really, there is public hearing is part of the process of lawmaking.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. We need to give us some few seconds for us to do some a show of what you've been doing in Ethiopia Federal since you assumed duty. A minute, sir. Yes, welcome back. And we want to appreciate our followers that are following up, those are commenting, those are sharing. Please, I want to appeal that if you are watching this program, do what to inform your friends, our families. Let them follow us up. Let them see what we are doing here and let them hear from the horse's mouth, because you see, sometimes it is difficult for people to actually hear from their political leaders because they don't have opportunity or access to them. But we've lost him, but he's coming back. But with social media, with platform like this, we can have opportunity of having a tete-a-tete as we're having with Honorable Igbakpa right now. In case you don't know, Honorable Chief Ben Roland Igbakpa is the member representing Ethiop East, Ethiop West Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, House of Rep to be precise. And he's been talking about some prevailing political issues that have been trending for a while now, and how it affects the people. You're welcome back, sir.
Thank
you. A while ago, when you were interviewed in channels, I remember you were trying to talk about the presidency and the president, and it brought some uproar, some some school of thought will say what's the difference between presidency and the president. So please, can you just educate us or throw more light on it, sir?
Okay, that popular interview. Well, what the lady was asking, because when you've got to a stage in life, you have to work with facts and figures, and she wanted me to agree that Mr. President issued the release on the ban on Twitter, and the president didn't issue that. It is the people, his staff. The presidency is the office. The president is the individual. The presidency has a lot of people working around there. The press, I mean, the chief press secretary, this new media man, the minister of information. So those are people, the chief of staff and whoever, the secretary to government. Those are all people working under the presidency. And but Mr. President is General Muhammad Buhari, and she wanted me to agree that it was the president, and I said no, it's not the president. This thing came from the presidency. And most times you see Nigerians clamor for, and what I was really trying to do on a second thought is the fact that Mr. President is not fully in charge of so many things that are happening. We've had cases in Nigeria where certain things happen and they come out to say, "Oh, the president is not aware," and it's just that was just what happened. And I tried to let her understand that the president did not say he's banning Twitter. The statement is from one of his aides, which is the Minister of Information, and but she's saying, "Oh, the box thought on the president's table. Why are we trying to?" I am I am of the PDP, but I am a very I try to be modest in everything that I do with facts and figure. And at this level, I don't think it would be fair of me to say that Mr. President, when the man himself has said nothing. Yes, he could have given instruction, but people has actually released certain information from the presidency in the past, and at the end of the day, Mr. President will say, "Well, uh, he's not aware." So that is what that was what happened.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So before we go to the next question, we have a question here from Ogban Emmanuel. He said, with the approval of the revamping of the Warri refinery, what should we expect as a positive ripple effect from that? That's one. What would you ensure as a part of our representative in the Green Chamber, sir?
Well, the revamping of the Warri refinery is a thing of joy. It was celebrating, but my worry is, are we? I listened to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources about 4 days ago with Shehu Kibalei of Channels, and he said he could not really ascertain when they asked him what is the level of work done now. He could not. He could not. He said a lot is being done offshore, meaning certain fabrication are being done abroad, some are being done here. So he cannot really say that so level, 20% job, 30% job has been done. And again, he said they be paid about 11% of, I think 11% of the total cost of the turnaround maintenance. So, but which means it doesn't show seriousness. It is not just enough to mention it. You must not just talk, you must walk the talk. So I think I'm just praying. And he did say that it is obvious that they are going to leave a refinery that is near completion, meaning this government will not complete it. So I wouldn't want to give credibility or credence to anything that I'm not sure of that will actually see the light of day. Because as it is, he said in that very interview that they are working on not selling a dead refinery, probably preparing it uh, for privatization, which is the way to go. Naturally, I agree, because the government has shown that they lack the capacity, and that is why the PIB is very important and urgent to come on stream so that governments can have maybe their certain percentage, but they should not be the one to run. The governance structure of oil and gas industry in Nigeria will change with PIB and the refineries. Let's pray they are able to complete it. But it's supposed to give us job. It's supposed to give us more money. It's supposed to wake up these regions, especially Warri, that is now a ghost of its old self. So I think my worry is the sincerity of the government of the day to ensure that these refineries are turned around and actually meet the yearning, because so much has been expended in trying to repair and fix the refineries in the past. And I think those are areas that need questions, that need answers. And I just pray this is not one of them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. While we were talking about the refinery revamping of Warri, something came to our mind, which I also think we should look into. And by God's grace, we have somebody like you that has been so pragmatic, that has been everywhere. Like I would say, you are ubiquitous because ever since you came on board, to be very frank, and I've always said it, that this is the time we know we have a member representing us in the National Assembly. And we are proud of you, sir. May God bless you and give you more energy to do more and the grace to do more.
Thank you.
Going forward, sir. Yes. Going forward, sir, we have the issue of ports in Nigeria. And of course, one of the reasons why Lagos State seems so congested, the road, everything so bad at Papa Think Island is because no other port works in Nigeria. And we have two line follow in Delta State. We have the Cocoa port, we have the Warri port. If these two ports are working, I'm very sure it will bring employment to Delta State. It will revamp the dying economy of Warri, and as it affects Delta State too. And of course, it will also reduce the unnecessary congestion we have in that Lagos Apapa road. So what do you think we could do, or what do you think we should do from your angle as a lawmaker representing us in the House of Representatives, sir?
You see, this country, a lot of things have been planned to fail in so many ways. I don't see why one port should have all the attention when we have coastal region all over the country. The Warri refinery, the Warri port is there, abandoned. The cocoa is there. I think there's one in Bomadi. There's the on a port is not optimally used. So there's one in Akwa Ibom. So I believe that the best thing for the government of the day to do, or any responsible government, is to think of how to decentralize the port activities of the country. Leaving everything in Lagos is not helping us. It's causing a lot of problem. Man-hour to get to the port in Lagos takes about 2 weeks. To leave the port is another 2 weeks. So if you're bringing in perishable items to the port, I'm not sure it will get to the destination fresh. So I think the way out is just to decentralize the port activities in the country. And let's not forget the Nigerian the refinery. You remember somewhere in March, April this year, I moved a motion on the need for them to reactivate and put the Warri refinery to use, because we got intelligence report of how some of the tanks have been moved out, how some the crude that are coming from excavers are being sold because the tank there is not enough. So when the tank is filled, they pump it and they sell it, and these are in public view, public glare. And the management of NNPC cannot, or NPDC cannot exonerate themselves. The matter is on. I moved the motion, and it was directed to the upstream committee, upstream and the downstream, and one other committee. And we're waiting. When we resume, we will come as the sponsor of that motion to ask questions as to how far they have gone with the investigation. We will not sit down. We will not just talk and leave it, because within us, even as lawmakers, there are people who does not mean well for the country. There are people that they are given assignment and they will not do it because their hands are dirty. I must give it to Mr. Speaker. He has tried as much as possible to remain afloat as a bipartisan leader in the House. I must give it to him. He has given all of us rooms to come with anything that you consider dirty as far as the Nigerian state is concerned. And we're doing it. But when committees are not doing their job, he also will not shield them. And why they are doing this, it does not stop us from going ahead with that investigation as to what happened to our tanks in Warri and who they sold them to, because they were all expressly stated in that motion that I moved.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Time and again, we'll appreciate you. We'll keep appreciating you.
Thank you.
Before we go, it's also good we look into one of those things that you have been doing, and for our people. And in fact, let's look into it, sir.
The popular adage, water, water everywhere, with none to drink, was the story of this woman fetching water from a ring well at Isiokulu, Ethiop East local government area, until the intervention of the member representing Ethiop Federal Constituency, Honorable Ben Igbakpa, with the construction of 10,000 gallons solar water project, which the people of Isiokulu said has brought relief to them. Another solar water borehole system facilitated in Ethiop East is located in Igun community. As at the time of filing in this report, the solar panels were being installed and have been put into use.
Now they see water they drink again unless you carry pure water. And since when we hear say water they come, now we take the pray for it. It's very easy for me to get.
I'm the site engineer for this solar water project here in Igun. And for some weeks now we've been here. The people are so good, so nice.
Also in Ethiop West local government area, Honorable Igbakpa has facilitated 10,000 gallons solar water borehole system each at Okureve and Okurode quarters, both in Ovade, Adagboyinri, Agunle Ogariki, and Ajatiton Mosuga. These school children said they are now at liberty to quench their thirst in view of the scorching sun. The people of the various quarters in Ethiop West praised the federal lawmaker for facilitating projects that have direct impacts on their lives.
As I come this over there, I can see they don't do water. Because before when we come, we don't see water use with the struggle, go the fight for water. Before they never see water for us. When I come, I'm very happy say water they over there. Yeah.
Before this project, we used to go to Ovade, east side of Ovade, to fetch water. And when this water came, I am very impressive.
I dey ugly water now I go. Now I go fetch water. I say I go drink water. Now I go.
If I would go river, would they go where? Would they cross road, crossing of road, they go fetch water. So that's why we see water, we suffer of water, but now we enjoy the water very fine now.
Since how many years we not get water? Suddenly, God just push one brother, where they call brother Ben Ogbakpa. Say make he can give us water. And God go continue to bless him.
It's a source of development and it's a good one. For the past 3 months now, we have been experiencing water scarcity, but due to this water project, I believe we'll be alleviating water scarcity from the community, and it's a source of development also.
Since we not get water, we struggle to get water. We not get, but now they don't give us water. We get water now. We not go struggle again.
Meanwhile, in ensuring that the people of Ethiop Federal Constituency have more access to healthcare delivery, a primary healthcare center is being constructed at Jesse Town as part of the Honorable Ben Igbakpa intervention in his constituency. The zonal intervention projects and programs known as constituency projects facilitated in his constituency is aimed at ensuring that the people get what rightfully belongs to them.
Yes, welcome back to our viewers. We've been in having discussion or interviewing um, Honorable Chief Ben Roland Igbakpa, the member representing Itu Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. Let me bring him on stage again. Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
like the lady said in the short video, that we did suffer for water before God come bring my brother Ben Igbakpa to come and save us. And of course, I want to lend my voice to her own. We've also been missing in national politics until you came on board. Yes, Robonation has been missing, not just your constituency. Robonation has been missing. Before now, we don't even know we have some of these powers, some of these opportunities. We don't even have the opportunities to see our representative speaking our mind, you know. So we really are blessed to have you. Now let us narrow down to narratives. Your constituency, your communities. You see, make a Urobo. Urobo na already nike ekpo. What it means is that if he doesn't go, I will not eat. If he does not eat, I will not go. Both of them will be very hungry. Why we blame the government or we blame the political leaders? We also find out that there are some times when governments, political leaders try their best to do some projects in the community, and the community people either destroy it, vandalize it, or they don't maintain it. That's one. Then two, we also have people that will be given projects to execute, maybe government projects in the community, and they abandon them. So what do you think we can do? Is there a way you can move a motion in law that will put an end to this madness where they will award contracts to even indigenous of communities and they won't do it?
Well, we have enough laws in the country to deal with such action. You see, let me tell you one thing. It's not really true that others have not tried. I believe that people have different ways of doing their thing. I still give credence to the people that have gone there before me, before I came. Definitely, they must have tried their best. Um, Back there, when I was in the House of Assembly at the state level, the moment you have a project in the budget as a member of parliament, you decide who executes that project. You decide. But there, which is not supposed to be so, but we're giving that respect here. But there in Abuja, it's not like that. They award the project to whoever they want. The contractor can only call you to say, Honorable, I am so. The project to do so in your constituency have been awarded to me. And most of them, they have their colleagues, they are their crony, I'm sure, they are their friends and brothers. And most of them don't even have the wherewithal to execute the project. As I'm speaking to you, my 2020 budget, about 4 transformers are still missing. The contractors got the letter of award. They could not execute it. They said I think maybe they had some deals I don't understand. The monies were not enough. They went away with the document, and to date it has not been done. So what I do now as an individual to help to ensure that those things that I have in the budget, those things that are due to my constituency get soon, is to call them. Okay, you are the contractor. What's your plan? What's your working plan? Give me how long it's going to take. They tell you, and some open up to you to tell you, oh, I'm still looking for money. If there are any area, if they need security, if they need somebody to support and assist them back home, you have to be with them to ensure that they deliver your projects on time. Because if you leave them most times, they will not do it. Or they will do something that after 2 days, you'll be at the receiving end. Your people will not be happy for it. So talking about people getting projects and not doing it, that is corruption. It's stealing. If you get projects and you have been paid and you did not execute it, and even if you get projects and you have not been paid, but you have signed and accepted that project, It's an obligation. It's a contractual obligation that you are supposed to fulfill so that you can be paid. But taking it without being paid could lead to blacklisting of that contractor. And if you have collected money, could lead to anti-corruption agencies going after the person to recover the money and possibly prosecute the person, and conviction could come from it. So it's for our people to raise alarm. I'm so happy with the social media. It's just that some people are using it negatively because it's helping a lot of information fly very fast. Apart from the negative people in the midst of the good people, I think it's one way of really moving information forward. There are people that they are just there, they are not ready to listen, they will not call you, they will not discuss with you. In my 2 years in office, I have read 2 or 3 open letters from one young man who will not want to ask questions. Some of these things, when you do them, you are portioned and you sit down. I just said I have about 4 of my transformers not coming. And when they come, when the contractors come, because you are serving 2 constituency local government, like in my own case, and of my colleague, some of my colleagues have 3 local governments. When the contractors, okay, you go to this local government, you go to this local government, you go to this local government, and unfortunately, maybe one local government contractor have worked and the other one disappeared due to one thing or the other. Those are not things that we'll discuss on social media, but these are issues that your constituents are supposed to ask questions. What happened? How come you have 10 transformer? Oh, some have not been here, some are not enough. If you say, okay, it is like this, and by the grace of God, we're thinking of what to do. But that will not deter us. We are representatives. And the day you stop the public from prying into your privacy and your life, you probably go into your private practice as a businessman and leave politics. I think that is the consoling factor that we just have to march on and journey on.
Thank you so very much. You've done so much. We've taken your 50 minutes, get to 1 hour. We appreciate you for clarifications. We appreciate you for response to questions. But going forward, and before we let you go, do you have any? No, we're not leaving you yet. 2023 seems to be rushing in. Yes, I almost forgot. And there are so much happening around already at the party level, at the national level. Things are just going haywire. Sir, do you think that your party can win the presidency? Because why I'm asking you this question is that so many persons have this solace in PDP. They believe in PDP. They are tired of the APC because the APC promise is like a sham. It's like it's a maya. It's like a shadow. So they are having their solace is in PDP as it is. Yes. What do you think the party can win the presidency, sir?
Well, before I go to that, let me say a very big thank you to my friend Glenn Arigi. He's online. Thank you very much, my brother. You're doing wonderfully well. On the issue of the 2023, I say that power belongs to God. And my Okimuti brand, that it is God that once it's an appointed time, it will come. PDP is the only party today that can restore and take power from the opposition lies. The APC has failed Nigerians. The APC has lied. Their lies are staring them in the face. The only party that Nigerian can leverage on and get salvation and come out of this political wizardry and penury that APC has subjected us to is PDP. Forget whatever is happening. It's normal in politics. 2 years is always the year where you see the pendulum going back and forth before it settles. I tell some of my friends, some of the people leaving PDP people, they will come back before the election. Because by the time they get there, whatever promise, APC is full of lies. Don't be surprised. The only person that I will say in Nigeria today left PDP because of his selfish interest, because he wants to win election, is Governor Matawale. He sees that there's no way he can win under PDP in his state. That is why he left. Maybe after the election he will come back. I don't know. But for some other persons, they are some very selfish and no reason, because they are not giving any reason. Our dear brother, our friend from um, Cross River State, says he just want to join the president to develop the country. Who says you cannot develop the country from where you are as a sitting governor? So you can see that some of these issues, apart from some that maybe due to the pressure and they just have to go. But I believe that they will come back. I believe that PDP will learn from whatever mistake they make in the last election, um, put their house in order, close those era, and that is one of the reasons why we are all clamoring for the electronic transmission of results and doing our election online to a great extent, where biometrics can count, where our card readers can count, and with what has happened, with the failure of the APC, I'm sure the job of the PDP to take over the center stage will be far easier than what it was in 2019. Thank you, my brother Obiebi. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I will let you go now, but before you go, please, given the fact that many youth, like as you've observed, go online and they misuse the social media, where they call out politicians for selfish reasons' sake. Some of them will just even call politicians out because they called you didn't pick, or they requested for money you didn't give them, or because they hoped you should solve a problem and they couldn't solve it. So just calling you out and they will just say anything they want to say. And politicians are like, let me say, a man that wears a white gown or garment. Anything can just come and stain your shirt. So what advice will you give to such youth or youth in general?
Well, for anybody in public office, the word public affects every part of your life. You don't have a private life. But in coming out to call them out, because they have it's like an oath of office to say, to be a public man, to represent you. And once somebody is representing you, you have every right, you have liberty for him to be accountable to you. He is a messenger. If somebody send you on an errand, the person should be able. But in doing it, it should be done with some level of respect. It should be done with some level of friendship and civility. It should be done with what I would call um, constructive criticism. If you must criticize, it is not just enough because you feel the man is your representative. So even your wife, in the present world, our wife deserves a lot of respect. You can't say because you marry your wife, then you can just do anything with her. You can just tell her anything. You can just instruct her like she doesn't have a brain. It's That's why the fight for equal and gender equity is on the rise. So people that are representing us are human beings. They are family people. They have children. They have wives. They have brothers and sisters. And when you say certain things about them, that is derogatory. It's unfair. I think the best thing to do is for you to reach out to them, especially when you know that you can have unbridled access to the individual. Not somebody that you call that will not pick, not somebody that you send a message that will not answer. Then you can answer, okay, I tried reaching you on several. Put it there. I've tried reaching you on several locations, but I'm not finding it easy. I couldn't reach you. I feel this is the best platform to send this message across to you. But be that as it may, I am not in support of whatever arrangement for certain quarters and the present government, to stifle the social media by the so-called social media regulation. I don't agree. because that is the only way, that is the only voice with which our people are speaking out and are being heard.
I think with this, okay, okay, okay. This one is from Precious Eagle Otabo. Brilliant engagement so far. That is good. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
to
Igor.
Honorable. Yes, thank you so much to our House of Rep member. We can't thank you enough for always availing yourself to talk to us, because like I said, and like you just said, that you are accessible is not questionable, because I think you are one of the only persons that you call and you pick, you send messages and you respond. And we will be having the privilege of always calling you to come and talk about national issues, what you've been doing there, and you always oblige us. And through this very medium, Ogban Robo, many persons have known so much about you, so much about Ito Federal, so much about what is happening in the Green Chambers. We appreciate you, sir. And we believe God that he will give you more grace to do more. And we also want to request again, like Oliver Twist, that if we call on you again, we believe and we know that you readily answer our call. Thank you, sir.
It's
God
your
bless
right.
you, sir.
It's your right. Anytime. It's your right.
Good night, sir.
Good night, my brother.
Yes, that has been a very fantastic deliberation with Honorable Ben Roland Igbakpa, member representing Ethiopia East and Ethiopia West Federal Constituency at the Green Chambers of National Assembly. This platform is actually meant to promote Robo people, Robo culture, anything concerning Robo Nation, including our politicians, our business people, just whatever it is. And of course, we've been enjoying the privilege of talking with Honorable Ben Igbakpa with this very platform. You can see so many persons have asked him certain questions here that are not even within his whips and caprices, but he has responded. That shows that, of course, we now have a way of reaching our political leaders. We now have a way of reaching our people. We now have a way of coming together to discuss. So with that, if you have anything you want Robo Nation to know about, that can promote Robo Nation, that can help us grow more than where we are today, please, you are at liberty, you are free to reach us at Ogban Robo, and we'll do it together. We also want to use the opportunity to thank once again our father, our leader, our mentor, our political guru, the people's rep, Honorable Ben Igbakpa. He has been there like the wind. I want to appreciate Owebo Emmanuel, who came up and has been engaging us. I want to appreciate Glenn Oarigi. I want to appreciate Osai with your success. I want to appreciate Tessie Prince Desiri and Kingsley Ubebi. We also want to appreciate Joey Harisi Ayoma. And finally, Precious Eagle Otabo Movo. I want to appreciate you all who participated. I want to thank you. I want to remind you, please, always like, comment, and share whatever we do here in Ogban Robo. I also want to appeal to us all that when we have opportunity like this to engage our political leaders, please let us come forth to engage with them. Yes, if you don't actually engage them, ask them questions, seek clarification, and you go to social media to a kind of say things that are not realistic. It's not fair, because like he mentioned, they have blood running in their veins, they have families, they have children, and of course you also know, you may not know where you two belong tomorrow. You may be the one that took over from Honorable Ben Igbakpa. So whatever you are saying today is a seed. So rather than bearing the grudge, or rather than getting angry because you don't know certain things are happening, come online, engage with us. And he has said it. Anytime we need him, he will be here to talk to us. Thank you all, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye. Wetodo.